Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I've learned as I've grown into the person that I am today. Welcome to August! I cannot believe that it is August already. I have the meditation books right here. So let's get into August. I didn't film any videos yesterday, so I didn't read the meditations from yesterday. So I might pick one of the meditations from yesterday instead of today. We'll see. We'll see which one speaks to me. So actually, I'm kind of really feeling like the language of letting go by Melody Beatty. So let's get into this. Let me put my reading glasses on first. And let's see what it says to us about August 1st or 2nd. Let's see. A lot of long, August 1st is gratitude. Let's read that. I think it's always a great reminder to talk about gratitude. And August 2nd is called In Between, so we might read that one as well. Gratitude, August 1st. We learn the magical lesson that making the most of what we have turns it into more. Codependent no more. Say thank you until you mean it. Thank God, life, and the universe for everyone and everything sent your way. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos into order, or chaos to order, confusion to clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, a stranger into a friend. It turns problems into gifts, failures into successes, the unexpected into perfect timing, and mistakes into important events. It can turn an existence into a real life, and disconnected situations into important and beneficial lessons. Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. Gratitude makes things right. Gratitude turns negative energy into positive energy. Amen, that's so true. There is no situation or circumstance so small or large that it is not susceptible to gratitude's power. We can start with who we are and what we have today. Apply gratitude, then let it work its magic. Say thank you until you mean it. If you say it long enough, you will believe it. Today, I will shine the transforming light of gratitude on all the circumstances of my life. And so just to be completely transparent as I'm reading this meditation, I always just think about like what my gut is telling me. And I'm sitting there and I'm reading this meditation and I'm thinking about like when I was actively making a written gratitude list, and I've said this like maybe once a month for like the last 6 months. When I was making a written gratitude list, my life was profoundly changed. I mean, like, profoundly. I don't even know how to explain it, and I can remember seeing that clip on Oprah when she was talking to the author of Simple Abundance, and just the power of gratitude. I don't know, it keeps you very, very rooted in the simplicity of life and the things that we are given that we don't even recognize or we don't even think about on a daily basis. So many people do. From, running water, to plumbing, to having a toilet, to having water to brush our teeth, to food, to a house, to a partner sometimes, to pets, to just, a car, to a job if we have one, to all those things. And even if we don't have those things, taking it even further down, being able to, use our feet today and be able to walk and have legs and, be able to, see and hear and breathe and those kinds of things. And then you can keep on going back and going back and going back into, like every day I do say, I do a oral, I do like a verbal gratitude list out loud, and I always start by, thanking my higher power for my life and my sobriety. Those are always the two things that are like at the top of my list, because if I don't have my life and I don't have my sobriety, then I don't have a chance, right? Obviously with my life, but with my sobriety as a person in recovery, if I don't have my sobriety, I don't have anything. Because if I'm not sober, then I'm a mess and I'm on death's doorway. So such an important meditation. And when I get off of here, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to grab a notebook and I'm going to put it beside my computer, beside the other 10 notebooks that I have. And I'm going to start doing a gratitude list today. I'm going to start it today. I'm making that commitment on this channel because I just was so profoundly changed. I've done the magic book by Rhonda Byrne, which is, I think, 28 or 30 days of gratitude. Like, I've done it enough times now that I don't know that I necessarily, you could do it 100 times and I think you gain so much from it. My mother-in-law still talks so much about that book, And I've talked about doing the Melody Beatty 40 days and 40 nights, and I may do that on here. But just the action of making a written gratitude list and also reading it out loud and saying, like, for each thing, thank you, thank you, thank you, because that was what I learned in that book, you know? And also I think the important thing that came from that book is that each day, the 10 things that I was grateful for, and some days it was more than that, but the 10 things that I was grateful for were completely different every day. So it wasn't that every day it was the same 10 things. It was that at the end of the 28 days, I had 280 different things that I was grateful for. And I could have had 500, I could have had 1,000, right? Because when you start thinking about it, you know, you start thinking about all the small things in your life. If you just sat in a chair and looked around your house right now, if you stopped this video and you just looked around, okay, and you did a verbal or an oral gratitude list, and you looked around, you know, I'm grateful for this TV, I'm grateful for the flooring that I have in here, I'm grateful for this chair that I get to sit in, you know, I'm grateful for my reading glasses and my phone and these books and all of you, you know. I mean, when you sit there, it's just like, you can just think of everything in your life that you are given on a daily basis, you know. So anyway, I think for me too, it's like, I remember years and years and years ago, it was the year that Schindler's List won for Best Picture, and there was a documentary that won for Best Documentary as well. I think it was that year. And the woman there was a survivor of Auschwitz who she like told her story. And so when that documentary won, she came up there and they gave her the award to accept. And so I will never forget, she said, for 50 years, I've asked myself, why me? I am no different. And, you know, I think about that. You know, I think about that on a daily basis. When we get into the complaining, we get into the pity me and poor me and all that kind of stuff, you know, it's like in recovery we say, pour me another drink. When we get in that, right, we don't really think about all of the people out there that have it so much worse than we do, you know? And it's really about thinking about really truly how blessed we have it on a daily basis. And what is so amazing to me is when I come face to face with somebody that really has been dealt some rough cards in life, you know? Like whether it's health and medical issues or whether it's financial issues or whatever, but I've met so many people in my life, you know, that really have been dealt some very, very difficult cards. And yet, there seems to be, about the majority of them, a grace and a serenity and a peace that they have to them, you know? That I wish that I had in my life, and that's something that I work towards, you know? And I think, well, if they can do it, then why shouldn't I, you know? Then is that me taking my life for granted? Is that me not being grateful for what I have when they are so abundantly grateful and they have so much less, you know? And I look at that and I think about that, you know? It's like, I don't know. It puts your life into perspective. All right, great meditation. Let's get into, hold on a second, making sure my husband's not home yet. Now, the driveway waiting for me to finish. Melody Beatty, Journey to the Heart. I opened it to July 1st. Let's open it to August 1st and see what August 1st or 2nd has to say to us today. Okay, well, August 1st is You Have It All, and August 2nd is what do we do when people resent us? And I don't remember reading this, and this looks fantastic. So I might have last year, but I don't remember. August 2nd, what do we do when people resent us? And there's like 4 points to this. Even with our best efforts to detach, we may still have moments when the resentments and harsh feelings of another interfere with our peace. We react much as if someone were throwing darts or rocks at us. All the efforts in the world to ignore resentments may not help if we're feeling the impact of each harsh feeling thrown at us. These are some ideas that might help. 1, talk to the person, reason things out. If that's not possible, send them a box of blessings through prayer or thought. I like that latter part. Because it is hard to talk to somebody, and sometimes we're like, oh, I've talked to this person, they're still resentful and angry at me, and there's nothing I can do to fix it, you know? Number 2, protect yourself emotionally and spiritually. One healing professional recommends these techniques, which have helped me. You may have your own. Take some quiet time, close your eyes, and envision yourself encased in a large cube of mirrors. Totally protected. You can see out, but others can't see in. All they see when they look at you is themselves. Oh, interesting. Spiritually, protect yourself by envisioning a flaming circle of fire around you, around the mirrors too. 3, look deep within yourself and find the emotional block, the unresolved issue, or the old belief that makes you vulnerable to the energy, to that person. I like this one. Then release it. Heal it by acknowledging it, feeling it, and letting it go. And 4, take a closer look. The pressure and resentment you're feeling may be your own. Release them. Heal yourself. Now thank that person for helping you heal, grow, and move along your path. And I think that's sometimes the hardest thing, and I was going to say this with gratitude, is that sometimes blessings in disguise are cloaked in gratitude. That the things that we become grateful for down the road are things at the time we can't even imagine that we would ever be grateful for, Sometimes people that we're thankful to, we don't have to tell them, okay? We don't have to say, thank you for doing this thing to me that made me look at life in a completely different way. But have you ever felt that way? Where you felt so wrong, so betrayed by somebody, and then you did the work and you worked through it. And by the way, the other day on my vlog, I did a whole description of what it means to work through something. I can do it on here if you guys want to hear it. But where you've worked through it and you've healed and you're better for it, and you think that you're a better human being on a daily basis because of what happened, or maybe that's where it originated. And you don't have to say to that person, hey, thank you for being a complete ASS to me, right? But you know it to be true, and then that's kind of a way to look at further things that happen to you in your life, And I think it's hard, but it's true. I think it's really, really important when we're looking at the resentments of others to take a look and say, like it talked about with the mirrors, but that's for other people, to say, this resentment that this person has, and the reason that I am unwilling to let go of it, okay? And unwilling to, every time it comes up, it, bothers me. Is there something about me in that? What can I do about me? Because I can't fix that person. I can't change that person. I can only fix me. And that's where inventory and evaluation comes into play, where you sit down and you look at that and you go, what part of what they are doing reminds me of myself? What part of what they are doing do I not like that reminds me of myself? Maybe it's a reflection of me. That's the part we have to work on, because we can't fix the rest. Now, for me, a fifth part that she doesn't mention in here is disengaging. She talked about detaching, but disengaging is where you don't play into that. You don't engage in it. You do the work on yourself, and you let that other person spin. My sponsor always says that to me. She always says, let them spin. Let them spin. Whenever I come to her with a personal issue in my life or whatever, and it's well, this person, whatever, she'll say, honey, just let them spin. You work on you, and let's take a look at why this is bothering you. Is there any truth into what they're saying, or what happened, or do you have a part in what happened? And otherwise, that's on them. Let them spin, and you take care of you, and they can take care of them, right? And that's just kind of how the world works at some point. And some people are relentless in that, and they just continue and continue and continue, and then you have to disengage. And what you're being taught in that is patience, right? And it's hard, okay? Don't throw that in my face on a day that I'm having a really tough day. But it's hard, but that's really what we have to do, work on ourselves and disengage and detach from those people. And I also think that if there are people out there that have a lot of resentment to you, do not run after them and try to make things right all the time. Once you've tried to do it once or twice, then you have to kind of let it go, At some point, it becomes the work that they have to do, not yours. So anyway, let me know what you think about that in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.